Alex, Mr. President, dear friends, I'm glad to speak to you and confirm that Ukraine is ready to contribute to the development of the security cooperation format, the JEF. We all see now that the world can be very harsh and dangerous for those who stand alone or stay aside from joint efforts to ensure real security. Today, no one knows what the future holds for Europe or how Russia will behave in the coming years. But one thing is clear: coordinated actions and real investment in security must work. We have an aggressive Russian regime next to us that has no intention of returning to peaceful coexistence with its neighbors. Next to Russia is Belarus, still ruled by one man, and yesterday on Freedom Day, celebrated by Belarusians, he went to North Korea, one of the world's darkest symbols of oppression. It sends a clear message to the entire region. And our nations are also dealing with the consequences of a deep crisis in the Middle East and the Gulf. Even if the war there ends soon, much will still need to be done to ensure stable supplies of critical resources from that region. All of this, and especially the brutality of Russia's war against Ukraine, pushes each of us to act more. And thank you for this kind of cooperation. Ukraine has now offered the countries of the Middle East and the Gulf long-term cooperation to protect their skies. They have strong financial resources and experience in dealing with ballistic threats, but they need our expertise in countering drones. This includes all types of drones: Shahid, drones which cause serious damage to infrastructure, and FPV drones, which are now used for targeted attacks on military bases and equipment in the region. The first agreements have already been prepared by our teams. Ukraine had the world's strongest experience in using drones. We offer the Middle East and Gulf countries a partnership that benefits both sides: our knowledge and technology and their funding. And we are working to make this happen. Our contribution to security in that region will also be a real contribution to global security. This matters because energy security and the cost of living, particularly in Europe, depends on their oil, gas, and other resources and stable global markets. And I believe that in Europe we need to build more close cooperation between Ukraine, your countries, and all European nations to ensure real protection on land, in the air, and at sea. The key is not only producing new weapons, especially drones, not just technology, but also real experience in using it and integrating it with radars, aviation, and other air defense systems. We have this experience. Together, we have a strong industrial base. You have financial capacity. Let's bring all of this together even more. And I'm grateful to every country we already have clear agreements with on joint production. We should work so that with all JEF countries, we build a real production alliance. And I'm grateful for the enhanced partnership status for Ukraine received in Oslo. The status already opens the door to practical cooperation, like taking part in the terraces exercise. We are ready to move forward, bringing our experience and capabilities to make the JEF community even stronger. And our goal is simple and clear. Ukraine is ready to become a full-fledged member of the JEF. And thank those who work closely with us across the military, defense ministries, and special services. We need to come together and strengthen our shared experience so we can be strong in every area, protecting lives, infrastructure, energy, the seas, and cyberspace. And I believe we can do this. I believe that a free Europe will prevail over all who threaten us. And of course, air defense is a top priority. In Europe, we must have full capacity to produce all types of air defense systems and the missiles for them. This includes protection against drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. And we cannot rely on other partners' industries. We must be confident in our own industry here in Europe. Please, let's keep moving this work forward and speed it up. And while we are building this capacity, please remember that we need protection from Russian missiles every single day. And I'm grateful to those of you who actively support us through the Pearl program. It's critically important. And one more point. Oil and gas markets are very, very uncertain now. But we must not let Russia take advantage of this. We all know that for Russia, money from oil and gas means more time for war. Putin turns every dollar he earns into killing and destabilization. So please keep the pressure on Russia. Its tankers and shadow fleet must not feel safe in European waters. I thank Denmark and Sweden and France for detaining these vessels, a clear demonstration that enforcement is not only possible but effective. Now we must go further. These tankers must not just be stopped, they must not be used to bypass international law. We need joint action to create strong laws in Europe that allow countries to block Russian tankers and confiscate the oil. This should be a real tool to take away Russia's ability to pressure Europe. Please also help others in Europe move these decisions forward and implement them at home. Please, let's do this. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.